people don't need to be destroying each other with drugs. Our people don't need to be destroying our own people by human trafficking.
That's right.
The cartels are going to be destroyed because God's going to allow it. And there's nothing that's going to protect you. Santa Muerte is not going to protect you. Jesus Christ, let me see that picture. He's not going to protect you. How are you going to expect to be protected by the people that are trying to kill you? You can't expect to be protected by the ones that are looking for you, that are putting you in their crosshairs. You have to understand, now is not the time for wickedness. Now is not the time for the Christian church. Because war is being declared on our border. War is being declared on our people. But the ISUPK, we are at war with America too. Spiritually, we are at war because we understand that our people need to be awakened out of the sleep that America has put them in.
That's right.
We have to awaken our people to let them know, do not follow the way of the heathen. Do not try to sell drugs like they do. Do not try to be a criminal like they do. You are better than that. You are royalty. You are supposed to be a priest and a king on this earth, not a criminal, not a thug or a low life.
To defend the Alamo.
Defend the Alamo. Get on your toes. Stand on.
Heads up.
Trump is evil, love the people. Trump is evil, love the people. Trump is evil, love the people. Trump is evil, love the people.
So that's why y'all bearing arms are prepared here to die if need be, if anything was shit hit the fan.
Yeah. I've done it before.
You done it? So are you a Hispanic man?
I'm Native American.
Native American. So what made you want to side with the United States of America, knowing the history of your people?
As me being a Native American, I'm a proud American, and first and foremost, I'm a proud Texan.
Right now, you can't even get into a homeless shelter because they're filled up with illegal immigrants. So you got veterans. I have friends sleeping on the streets that I can't even get in to bring into my own home.
I have worked with immigrants. I have worked with people that came here legally through the system and people that have not been here through the system. I have worked with people who have taken jobs for $6 an hour to provide for their families because they have nothing else to do. They're under the table, they cannot work a good job, and they come here trying to find a good life. Yeah, I've met people that are still out there hustling drugs, bringing in fentanyl and stuff too. There are two sides of it, but he has a point. There is so many immigrant people, whether they are here legally or not, that contribute to society in such a major way. I have met so many individuals who will not settle for a job that's not paying more than $10 an hour because of the fact that they cannot survive. And yes, our economy is really bad, and you can blame it on Biden's economy, but when Biden came into office, he was left with what Trump left us. And I'm not to say that Trump is to blame either, but regardless, I think both politicians are corrupt and crooked in the head.
So if I could,
yeah,
because it was so heavy what you said there was no argument for me, so it seems like y'all right now, being an American, you just gotta choose the lesser of the two evils right now.
We gotta agree to disagree as a society.
But the main thing, even though you said all that, is that we need border security.
We do need border security.
We need border. We can't have 10 million people come across. If I were to go to Mexico and do a protest and be there, I'd be in jail.
You saying where you would do this at?
If I were to go to Mexico and try this shit, I'd be in prison.
Okay.
Well, guess what? They just declared war because there has been fentanyl flowing into the United States, killing American citizens. Now, of course, we don't condone any drug use, drug sales, or any criminal activity in the ISUPK, but I wanted to send this message out for my brothers that are in the cartel, because wherever life you live, you're still my brother. And I love my people. And I have to warn them about the hammer that's going to be brought down on them because of the things that are going on. Go ahead and tell them where you're at.
Oh, good. It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 10, verse 2. Treasures of wickedness.
Treasures of wickedness. Read that again.
Treasures of wickedness.
Selling drugs.
Treasures of wickedness.
Human trafficking.
Treasures of wickedness.
You understand? Worshiping Santa Muerte.
Treasures of wickedness.
Treasures of wickedness. Go ahead.
Profit nothing.
Profit nothing. Keep going.
But righteousness delivers from death.
And that's what you want in this day and age, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. You want protection. You want protection from the Lord in these days, especially as turmoil begins to erupt, especially as tensions begin to rise, especially as we as a nation of people become profiled at a higher rate than ever before. Well, let it be no surprise that these escalations that are going on at the border are going to obviously be used to profile us here in America, because they're going to try to group us all into one thing. Oh, they see brown, they're going to think that we down with them. They're going to think that we a part of them. We are the same people as those that are in the cartels. But we do not live the same way that they do, because we want to show you what the Bible says. We got to show you the truth. Matter of fact, read this right here.
Do I expect violence to escalate?
Does the actual head, and they call him the Czar of Texas, that is in charge of protecting the border to Mexico, he says, do I expect the violence to rise? Go ahead.
He said, absolutely.
He said what?
Absolutely.
Violence on the border is going to rise according to the people that are in charge of maintaining the security at the border. Read on.
Absolutely. Because the cartels are making record amounts of money.
Hey, you know what? This right here shows the fatal flaw of what our brothers have been doing down there. Because of what? It says their record what?
Record amounts of money.
Because of money. Because we have become so attached to gaining fortune that we will go through any means to get it. That we will forego any morals to get it. That we will forsake the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High to achieve that fortitude of wealth.
Right.
But that wealth is corrupted. This place is corrupted.
That's right.
You have to understand, brothers and sisters in South America. My message to you is this: don't be like our oppressor. You're trying to play his game and live his way. The scripture says, treasures of wickedness profited nothing. But I'm here to tell you this: the same way that those things can be said about you, we can say the same thing about our oppressor. Because their treasures were brought forth through wickedness. Through their conquest of America, through their enslavement of an entire nation, through their constant push for wickedness on the earth. That's what made America rich. That's what made them great, taking us as their wealth, taking us as their resources. Read on.
Go with God. Holman said, going on to say that they continue to secure the border.
Yes, because they expect more violence to be there at the border to Mexico, which means what? They expect there to be more violence bleeding into Mexico and bleeding into the United States. Because, yes, they profile them beyond the borders. They've been looking for them here in America already. So you can expect violence to increase because quotas are being met, because dollars aren't being exchanged, because drugs aren't being sold. Which I gotta say right here then forth, that drugs are bad, you understand? Our people don't need to be messing with none of that stuff. And more importantly, our people don't need to be destroying each other with drugs. Our people don't need to be destroying our own people by human trafficking.
That's right.
The cartels are going to be destroyed because God's going to allow it. And there's nothing that's going to protect you. Santa Muerte is not going to protect you. Jesus Christ, let me see that picture. He's not going to protect you. How are you going to expect to be protected by the people that are trying to kill you? You can't expect to be protected by the ones that are looking for you, that are putting you in their crosshairs, because they're going to see a Hispanic and they're going to automatically profile you as a cartel member because you got tattoos, because you're smoking a blunt, because you're in the prison system. You have to understand, now is not the time for wickedness. Now is not the time for the Christian church, because war is being declared on our border. War is being declared on our people. But the Isupk, we are at war with America too. Spiritually, we are at war because we understand that our people need to be awakened out of the sleep that America has put them in.
That's right.
We have to awaken our people to let them know, do not follow the way of the heathen. Do not try to sell drugs like they do. Do not try to be a criminal like they do. You are better than that. You are royalty. You are supposed to be a priest and a king on this earth, not a criminal, not a thug or a low life. But that's what they're gonna label you as, because that's what they are. And they that follow after them, they are of their father the devil, because they've been caught up in modern day Christianity. They've been caught up in modern day Catholicism. And because they feel shame for having to try to even pray to that white Jesus, they'll even look for another saint that looks like the grim reaper of a woman, Santa Muerte, and they look for them for protection because they can't seek protection from the real God. But I'm here to tell you that that real God that can protect you, he loves you, Hispanic man. He's here for you, black man. He's not here for the white man. He's not going to protect them, because treasures that are brought forth through wickedness profit nothing in the end. But America is profited through much wickedness, but their end is going to be nothing. Their profit in the end is going to be something that'll be erased in the history books. That their footprint on the earth will not last forever. We can't play a fixed game against them. We're going to show you that in the scriptures as well. We're going to read Proverbs chapter 10, verse 2 one more time.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 10, verse 2.
Go ahead.
Treasures of wickedness profit nothing.
Go ahead.
But righteousness delivered from death.
And I'm going to prove that to you. Read this right here, Judah chapter 9, verse 14. Read that.
It's the book of Judah, chapter 9, verse 14.
Go ahead.
And make every nation and tribe to acknowledge that thou art the God of all power.
The God of all power. It is our job to make sure all nations know and acknowledge the God of our power. Go ahead.
And might, and that there is none other that protecteth the people of Israel but thou.
But there is no other protection for the people of Israel but the God of the Bible. It just so happens that we don't know the word Israel, because we've been taught that all as far as our history is that we were Aztecs, that we were Mayans, that we were Olmecs, that they were Mexicans, that we are Puerto Ricans, that we are Dominicans. But our history goes even further beyond that, further than the Olmec Empire, further than 700 and 800 BC, where we come from the land of Israel after being in captivity in the land of the Assyrians.
And make every nation and tribe to acknowledge thou art the God of all power and might, and that there is none other that protected the people of Israel but thou.
There's none other that can protect Israel, so don't look to Saint Mary for protection. Don't look to Santa Muerte for protection. Don't look to a white Jesus for protection. I understand why you ran from religion. I understand it. Give me 2 Maccabees chapter 3 in the Apocrypha. 2 Maccabees chapter 3 in the Apocrypha. I understand why you ran from religion, because you knew that something was wrong when you were in that church and you were falling asleep. You knew something was wrong in that church where they kept feeding you the same BS over and over. They withheld the Bible from you. In the ISUPK, we flood you with the scriptures so you can receive the water of life. So you can receive the true baptism of Christ. That you can have the ammunition that it takes to go against the demons that come against your mind. That you have the ability to put down the drugs. You have the ability to put down the violence. And here in the scriptures, we're going to make it perfectly clear. Go ahead and read verse 1.
It's the book of the 2nd Maccabees, chapter 10 and verse 1.
3 verse 1.
3 and verse 1.
Go ahead. In the book of Maccabees, Israel at its one point had to fight back to build their own empire again. This is something that the cartel understands, because they too feel like they have to rebuild something. They have to rebuild something that belongs to them. Something that gives them a sense of identity, a sense of pride, a sense of brotherhood. I understand that. I understand what it means to have the spirit of a warrior. I understand that. Give me that verse 1. Go ahead.
It's the 2nd Maccabees, chapter 3 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
Now when the holy city was inhabited with all peace, and the laws were kept very well.
It says what?
the laws were kept very well.
When Israel was in a time of peace, when we kept the Most High's laws very well, we were protected by the Most High.
That's right.
And I'm going to show you the Most High will take it even further than you ever imagined. And I'm going to show you here in the Bible. Go ahead.
Come on, because of the godliness of Onias,
Go ahead.
the high priest, and his hatred of wickedness.
In his hatred of what?
And his hatred of wickedness.
We have to hate wickedness.
Right.
It doesn't matter if you're in poverty. If you hate poverty, you might lean to wickedness to try to get out of it. You have to be careful. You have to hate wickedness. Give me 2 Maccabees chapter 11, verse 6. Because this is during a time where the Most High was with us. This was during a time when the Most High was ready to protect us.
Right.
And that's what we're looking for in the Isupk. We find that protection.
That's right.
We don't care if you're posted up right next to AR-15s, bazookas. We don't care if you got knives, because we know that we're being protected by the Most High because we keep God's laws.
That's right.
Then America does not teach you to keep God's laws. Give me verse 6.
Come on, to 2 Maccabees chapter 11 and verse 6.
Go ahead.
Now, when they that were with Maccabeus heard that he besieged the host, they and all the people with lamentations and tears besought the Lord that he would send a good angel to deliver Israel.
That's right. Because Israel was looking for an angel to save them from the heathens.
Right.
Read on.
Come on, verse 7. Then Maccabeus himself, first of all, took weapons,
Go ahead.
exhorting the others that they would jeopard themselves together with him to help their brethren.
Because these brothers were willing to fight together to protect one another. That's something that you have to understand, those of you that are in the cartel. You might be trying to show brotherhood to protect each other, but without the righteousness of God's laws, there will be no success.
That's right.
And so do not try to go against the beast. I have more scriptures to show you.
Right.
There's more to this conversation that needs to be said, but let me just get verse 8.
Come on, verse 8. And as they were at Jerusalem,
Go ahead.
there appeared before them on horseback one in white clothing.
We were just reading in this verse 6 that they were looking for an angel to deliver Israel. And in verse 8 it says there was a one in white clothing on horseback that came to help fight with them. Go
That's
ahead.
right. Shaking his armor of gold.
Go ahead.
Then they praised the merciful God all together and took heart.
Go ahead.
And so much that they were ready not only to fight with men.
You know what? The angel was fighting right alongside them. They didn't have to assume whether or not they were being protected, because they had a brother sent from the Lord, an angel, to fight right next to them in that battle.
That's right.
And them brothers had all the inspiration and motivation to fight so much that they didn't care if they had to fight man. Read on.
Come on, man, but with most cruel beasts.
Or with cruel beasts. Go ahead.
Come on, and to pierce through walls of iron.
Or if it was a wall of iron, they're ready to bust through it like a linebacker.
That's right.
Because they had all the motivation necessary of belief and faith that God was with them, because physically there was an angel there with them. That's the kind of power that you have, Hispanic man.
Come on,
That's the kind of protection that you can have through righteousness.
Right.
You like to pick up arms, I get it. Ain't nobody fight more than the Hispanics.
Right.
You can say Judah might be a close second, but when it comes to boxing down in Mexico, they get busy and they want action.
That's right.
They want the smoke. They love to fight. They're zealots for their people.
That's right.
They're brothers of war. And with the motivation of righteousness, they can overcome anything. Read on.
Come on, verse 10. Thus they marched forward.
Give me verse 11.
Come on, and giving a charge upon their enemies like lions.
Giving a charge upon their enemies like lions, they overtook their enemy.
Right.
They destroyed their enemy. Go ahead.
Come on, they slew 11,000.
They slew 11,000. Keep
right.
going.
11,000 footmen and 1,600 horsemen.
And 1,600 horsemen, because they had one angel was sent from the Lord, and it motivated them all to fight alongside each other. And that's the message that I have for you out there.
Come on.
That through righteousness we find success in warfare. We find success in life. But if we cling to wickedness, the Most High sends that wicked beast that beareth not the sword in vain. That was made and created by the Most High to live by the sword and die by the sword.
That's right.
And only with the Most High is with you that you will find protection in these days.
Right.
So you best watch your steps, because you try to come against the beast. Now's not the time to fight them.
Right.
The time right now is to search for righteousness.
Right.
Gather yourselves together, O nation not desired, before the decree bring forth, before the day pass as the chaff, before the day of the Lord come upon you.
We're gonna have a camp today. We are. We won't give a damn about the Alamo. Right. Who gives a damn about the white man's losses? That's why the world will rejoice when we are in the Lord. Right.
And the scepter of the rulers.
The truth of the matter is that you, the white man, have painted yourself as Jesus Christ.
Right.
No more of the evil and the crimes that we learned from your people. And guess what? The more and more we change and become righteous, which we're doing today, teaching the love that we're teaching the righteousness that we're teaching, the more that you're going to fall be back in a position of a servant.
Right.
Because I never seen love for black people. I never seen love for Native Indians.
Right.
I never seen kindness for these people.
Right.
I never seen all of the good things you just said. I never seen them for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
Right.
So all of that heartwarming stuff that you're talking about does not apply in the barrios and the reservations.
Right.
All of the stuff that you're talking about does not apply to the ghettos of America.
I understand you guys have been hanging out here for I don't know how long, and things have changed. The Alamo has kind of taken over the territory.
Because the last thing we want to do is have an officer get called out here who's not informed and act on something and get himself in trouble. Absolutely. Right? We're gonna make sure we speak to the whole shift about it, and everybody knows the legality of what's going on in Alamo Plaza, because obviously it's a little bit disorganized from what they want as to what is on paper.
Once again, just undefeated when the Lord on your side. You know what I mean? The man in general, your honor, raised up real revolutionaries. Damn right. And know what to fight for and how to fight.